In this video, we'll be covering how the summer module works. We'll briefly go over the setup in campus, then we'll go over the summer portal from the parents' perspective and how they would sign up their children for summer classes. Next, we'll look at the finance and scheduling reports to pull information such as how many students have signed up for each class and the total amount of revenue per class. And finally, we'll look at the summer portal from the teacher's perspective. So I'll get started in the campus module. Campus is used to manage the back-end part of the entire system, whether it's the summer portal, whether it's the online store, the teacher portal, or anything else. One thing that we have to consider is, do we want a separate ledger or use the same ledger as the main school? The advantage of using a separate ledger is that you can separate all of your financial activities from the general ledger. So for example, if you have invoices and receipts and transactions coming from your main school, so that when students are paying tuition, all that activity comes to the general ledger. If you don't want to mix that activity with the summer activity, we can have a completely separate ledger so that anything that comes through the summer ledger will be recorded in the summer ledger only. So when your administrator logs in and looks at the general ledger activities, they won't see anything that is coming from the summer ledger. And if they select the summer ledger, they won't see anything that's coming from the academic divisions where parents are paying tuition for their students, or you may even have a completely separate ledger for other items such as the lunch module or the online store. So when you're setting this up, you decide if you'd like a separate ledger or if you'd like to keep all the finance activity in your main ledger. In this case, I do have a separate ledger because I do want to separate all these activities. So I'll go ahead and select my ledger, and then I'll click on Finance, and then I'll go to Ledger, Chart of Accounts. The chart of accounts are created so that when invoices and receipts are added to the system, they go to the appropriate account so that later we can run reports and see how much revenue came in for each class. In this example, I've created separate accounts for each of my classes that I have in the system, and these accounts are connected to what we call products. So if I click on the products link here, I have products such as A Star is Born, baseball, and so forth. The products determine the price of our camp. So our camps will be our classes in PCR, and the products will be the price, and the two will connect together so that the system knows that this class is worth this much money. And I'll cover that in a little bit. As an example, if I'm looking at A Star is Born product, I can see that the price is $250. In some cases, you can also go to deposit and put in a deposit amount. What that means is that you can give parents the option to not have to pay the entire amount. They can pay a partial amount, and later on they can pay the rest of the remaining balance. So if I go back to my products, I have all of these products already set up, and I have indicated how much each product is worth because I'm going to connect them to my classes. So next, let me go to the scheduling portion. In the scheduling portion, we actually create our classes. So I've created A Star is Born, baseball, and so forth that I had set the products for. And then if I go to details of my class, this is where I can specify the product. So that is how they get connected. So when the parent goes in and selects A Star is Born class, they would be charged whatever amount this product is worth in my finance side. The other thing about courses is that you can define parameters such as minimum maximum birth date and minimum maximum grade level. You don't have to do both of them. You can just set one parameter. If you don't set any parameters, then anybody would be able to sign up for these classes. In this example, I have set a minimum birth date and a maximum birth date, but I have not set up a minimum grade level and a maximum grade level. So meaning that as long as the student fits within my birth date criteria, they'll be able to pick this particular class. Moreover, you can restrict classes by gender as well. So if you have boys basketball or girls basketball, you can specify the gender so that only boys can sign up for boys basketball and girls can only sign up for girls basketball. Within a course, you have section. Section is what is linked to your teacher and your period code. What that means is that when you're setting up your period codes, you're going to specify when those periods occur. So in this example, I have week 1 to 2, 1:30 to 3:30. What this means is that any section that is linked to this period code will occur from week 1 and 2 from 1:30 to 3:30. This is really important because we look at this data to make sure that there are no conflicts. For example, if a student is signing up for this class and another class that occurs at the same time, the system will cache that and show them a message that says that they cannot sign up for both classes because they conflict. So period codes are really important for that. To a section, you can also assign a teacher and a room. In my example, I haven't assigned any rooms, but I have assigned teachers to them. This is the teacher part is important, especially if you're going to use the teacher portal for the summer module so that teachers can take attendance. When teachers log in, they'll be able to see the roster, they'll be able to see their classes, they'll be able to take attendance, and they'll be able to put in any grades if needed. To view all the teachers, I can go to teachers here under scheduling, and I can also create new teachers by clicking the new button. Once I have created my teachers, I can go to my sections and I can just link a teacher from this drop down list to any class that I would like.